Step 2, grow the behavior. Building off of the previous step, now you are going to work your way backwards along the length of either your cardboard box or your tunnel until your dog is presented with the opportunity to pass by one plane of the tunnel to get to the other. A short 10-foot tunnel is recommended for this step.
Ready? Look. Yes, good girl. Yeah. Ready? Look. Yes, good girl. Yeah. Ready? Look. Yes, good girl. Very nice. Look. Yes, good girl. Yeah.
While you can continue to work with a very short tunnel or a cardboard box to work on the basic behavior, a slightly longer tunnel is going to allow you to build up some distance and commitment with the behavior from the very beginning. And this is going to be before your dog has to make a choice about how to engage with the tunnel, because he's still only going to be seeing the one entrance. Make sure that you work both sides of the behavior, starting with your dog between you and the tunnel on your right, and also starting with your dog between you and the tunnel on your left.
Ready? Look. Yes, good girl. Ready? Look. Yes, good girl. Ready? Look. Yes, good girl. Yeah. Look. Yes, good girl. Very nice. Ready? Ready? Look. Yes, good girl. Very nice. Look. Yes, good girl. Yeah. Look. Yes, good girl. Yeah. Look. Yes, good girl. Yeah.
Also, make sure that you continue to alternate between the pull to the takeoff side presentation, or look, and a normal tunnel presentation, as seen in Figure 2.
Ready?
Good.
Look. Yes, good. Good. Get in. Yay, good girl.
More attention should be paid to the pull at this point, the pull to the takeoff side presentation, since it's the less logical presentation to your dog, and it's going to require more reinforcement. Be sure to use both your look cue and your tunnel cue, depending on which presentation that you are giving to your dog. Since it's the verbal cue that you are trying to teach your dog to pay attention to, and verbals don't naturally rise to the top of most dogs' priorities when it comes to following cues, your dog is going to need to hear both verbal cues to start to associate each to a specific way of taking the tunnel. Both verbal cues mean to take the tunnel, but in two different ways. As a good rule of thumb, you're going to want to follow the 4/5 rule. That means that 4 out of 5 times present your dog with the look presentation, and 1 out of the 5 times present your dog with the get in or tunnel presentation. Of course, on a typical sequence, this ratio is going to be flipped. Your dog is going to be taking tunnels the quote-unquote normal way most of the time. But those few times when you do want your dog to bypass the obvious entrance to a tunnel and then turn away from you to take the not so obvious entrance to a tunnel, you're going to want this skill. And as stated previously, this skill is the foundation to learning how to take jumps when approaching from the landing side. You'll probably be able to progress from presentations similar to the top of Figure 3 to the bottom of Figure 3 pretty quickly. However, when you get to a location similar to the one shown at the bottom of Figure 3, it's recommended that you slow down and stay there for a while and work only on pulls to the takeoff side of the tunnel for a few training sessions. This is to really strengthen the behavior before you proceed to Step 3. And now for a note on reward placement. When you send your dog into a straight tunnel and you are stationary, you are cueing a turn coming out of the tunnel. So when you do that, make sure to deliver the reward in such a way as to encourage this, a toy or a treat that you're holding, rather than tossing ahead. Make sure that you're encouraging the behavior you're already cueing, which is that your dog's coming back to you. So you're going to also be ending up teaching your dog to make tight turns coming out of the tunnels at the same time that you're training pulls to the takeoff side of a tunnel.